Hello and welcome on my channel. If you want to improve your relationship, learn relationship hack or listen to entertaining and educating relationship stories, please subscribe, like and share. Share your own story in the comments section below. Thank you. Thank you for such response. I have missed a lot of detail to tell you guys. First is that I have divorced her before marrying M. I think she don't know as she was nowhere to be located. Second is that I have written L instead of M by mistake. I had full custody of my son as X was nowhere in the picture, but now she is back, so I don't know if my full custody will be maintained or not. Also, my post has been removed, so I am putting original text here. Seeking advice on how to handle the situation. Me 34M. My ex-wife 35F, call her X. My neighbor AP. My neighbor's wife 37F, call her M. Me and my wife married in 2009. We had our baby in 2010. In November 2010, while she was asleep, a message pooped on her phone and was a flirty message. I checked on her phone and it was from our neighbor. I went through every single message, which included sexting, sharing nudes, and even had planned meetups at hotels. This was going on from the first week into our marriage. I felt like my world crumbled in front of me. I took screenshots of every message and saved on my phone. Next day I contacted M and let her know about the affair. They were married for 4 years and had their first baby almost exact same time as we had ours. I confronted my wife and told her that I am going to give her divorce. She started crying and everything else, but I did not consider it. I also did paternity test on our child son because the affair timeline was same as conception date. After 2 days, when I come home from work, our baby was crying in our bed and X was nowhere to be seen. Then I found a letter of her telling that she did not love me and she had left with AP and to not contact them. I knew this was coming, but I didn't believe that a mother can leave her child was about 6 months alone and can run off with her lover. I then went to M's house. She had received same letter by her husband. I felt sorry for her as she was going from postpartum depression, had her baby just a few months ago and was left alone. Also, paternity test result came back and he was my son. I tried to contact X family, but they also didn't know where she was and was shocked by her behavior. Her father even said that if she ever came back she would not be allowed to enter their house. They basically disowned her. L was very supportive. She began coming to my home to watch kids and even breastfed both of them, her and mine. As time passed, we were like family. My son called her mom and had known only her as mom. We also decided to go on dates. We engaged a year later and married in 2013. We had our first child in 2015. We often discussed things about our exes and how we were often disrespected by them. We were happy family. In 2018, when my son accidentally saw a picture of my ex picture after birth, so it included X, me and him, so we decided to tell him that her birth mother X had died in car accident years ago and L took care of him since he was 6 months old. 2 days ago, I received an anonymous email. I opened it and it read, "I want to see my son and want my family back. We are not divorced yet." I knew it was X. I showed this to L. L started freaking out and asked me if I would take her back. I calmed her down and told her that she was an ugly past and I would never leave you. I would never take her back. Now I am confused what to do. I will definitely not take her back, but should I let her meet my son or not? Should I take my son's opportunity to have connection with her birth mother? When the child finds out his father lied and kept him from his mom, their relationship could be over. At the end of the day, his wife was a cheater and abandoned the child. It makes her a crappy person, but it doesn't mean she would do the child harm. One could say the lie OP told the child could be more emotionally damaging to them. It would be best for the adults involved to come to the table and work this out in the best interest of the child. It doesn't sound like any of them truly have it together. One of my neighbor's kids rolled off the bed and smashed his head open. Almost died. Leaving your child alone on the bed at 6 months old without letting your husband and another adult know is pretty bad. 100% true. However, what she did then doesn't necessarily equate to who she is now. Of course it does. That's why she needs to be investigated. She can't just walk back into his life like nothing happened. 1. Telling the kids that your ex died is wrong. You should never have done that. Your son, and likely your other kids, will need therapy, or at the very least, you should consult a psychologist to get advice regarding how to tell them the truth. The more you lie, the likelier he will eventually go live with her and believe whatever excuse she gives him. 2. Assuming you have an actual judgment that gives you full custody, you can ignore her communication entirely or get a lawyer to send her a letter saying visitation is not in the child's best interest. You can then either wait for her to file in court asking for visitation, or you can proactively attempt to have her parental rights terminated. Perhaps also having his actual mother adopt him. Child support doesn't usually have an impact on custody, but a reminder that she has not paid child support for 10 years and that there are still many years left where it should be due can help as well. However, only through formal lawyer letter, not by responding directly. 3. You might not be able to prevent visitations from happening. At the very least, ask for a very slow progression with short visits supervised by social worker or psychologist. 4. Did your wife's ex-husband reappear as well? Expect that he might show up too. 5. Don't panic. Hey, OP. This is really solid advice. Also, I'd like to emphasize 1. You have dug yourself in a lie. Do not continue to dig yourself further. Understand that children may not be able to see the big picture, but that doesn't mean you should deny them parts of their life. His bio mother is his bio mother, and if he decides he wants her in his life after therapy or when he is older or what have you, then you cannot deny him that without building resentment between you. Definitely pursue therapy, though. Also, there are lots of law firms that specialize in helping fathers with custody battles. Know that you are already disadvantaged going into the courtroom, so the fight might be long and difficult. I'm sorry the justice system will treat you the way it will. If you do decide to let her see your son, I would have her go through your lawyers. You want to make sure you and your family are protected, and that if she does see him, it's supervised and set up regularly so she's not coming into your son's life like a wrecking ball and causing him all kinds of grief and confusion. Yes. Do everything through lawyers. Everything. All communications. Just give your attorney her info. Let them do it. The peace of mind will be worth the money. This yes. Therapist here. Don't lie to your kids about things like this. And the lie you chose was awful. If she's not, she can show and expose your lie. And it sounds like that's exactly what she is going to do. Here is my advice, non-professional. Tell your kid the truth. Get a lawyer. For you and Elle. Right now, she is entitled to custody. She can go to the school, the doctor, wherever, because it's all legal until family court says otherwise. Once you have a lawyer, go to court. Establish abandonment. Get sole physical and legal custody. Prepare for a fight. You might be facing one. Prepare for her to show up. This means you warn the school daycare. Warn your family. Warn your neighbors. Your church. Your soccer coach and your pediatrician. Delete all of your social media accounts. It doesn't matter if they're private. They're not safe. Put her family on an information diet. Put everyone on an information diet. Do not let anyone see your kids unsupervised. Make sure the kids really know not to talk to strangers. Her family may accept her back and try to help her. This is not going to go away until you make it go away. This is some heavy stuff. 1. Consult a lawyer that knows family matters from cover to cover. 2. She made a conscious decision to abandon her infant child to run off with AP. And now she wants back. Doesn't work that way. Tell him the truth when he's old enough to understand.